United Nations, I'm sure you have heard of it. It's the most expensive debating club in the world, where nations debate and sling mud at each other endlessly. No, I'm being unfair. Debating isn't the only thing that the UN does, it also issues resolutions that nobody reads or cares about. And yes, it issues condemnations. Let's not forget condemnations. Strongly worded condemnations. If you commit mass murder or genocide, everything gets condemned by the UN. Isn't that great? So why do people think that UN has become irrelevant? Okay, I get it. You don't want the UN to just condemn atrocities, you also want it to stop them because this is what it is supposed to do. This is what it was created to do. Never again. Yeah, that was the grand mission for which the UN was created after the Second World War, when nations were settling their differences by dropping bombs on each other's heads. Sure, they did settle their differences at the end, but the method turned out to be a little too extreme. More people died in the process than was really necessary. So it was felt that massacring each other wasn't really an efficient way. A different method was needed, maybe rule of law. Within a nation, there are courts and laws to settle disputes and offer arbitration. But when dispute arose between nations, there was no such institution. So they were settled on the battlefields where it was free for all. So the UN came into existence with a mission of never again, as I said. But fast forward to today, and the mission could be rebranded as again and again and again, but with very strong condemnations. So why has the UN become such a spectacular failure? Why hasn't it managed to stop atrocities? Well, first of all, and to be fair, it's hard. People really hate each other and want to kill each other, and they don't really stop when you ask them to stop, which is exactly why institutions like the UN are so important. We need the UN, but we also need it to work much more effectively than it's working right now. The UN has a big problem. It's a big boys club. The Security Council has 5 permanent members with veto powers. That means any of those 5 can veto a decision, and that's the end of it. So the UN is practically paralyzed when decisive action is needed because often one of these 5 big boys or their pals are involved in the trouble and they simply veto any effective action. So who are the big 5 boys? Those who won the locker room fight, the Second World War. The US, the UK, France, Russia, and for some ethnic non-white touch, China. Everyone loves a Chinese takeout once in a while. The Security Council was designed to represent the world's power balance in 1945, and boy, has it stuck to that. 5 permanent members with veto power, that's like a geopolitical equivalent of having the same drunk uncle deciding family policy forever. There's no country from Africa, none from Latin America, and nations like India, Brazil, Japan, and Germany are still standing outside to join the big boys club. 60% of the world's population has no permanent representation in the body, making the most important decisions about war and peace. And you are asking why UN has become irrelevant. Reform is not just desirable, it's long overdue. If the UN wants to remain relevant, it can't just be the club of Second World War victors. It must represent the modern world from Africa, Latin America, Asia, even get some penguins from Antarctica. They are pretty peaceful and are both black and white. Political correctness check. The world is dangerously sliding back into a free-for-all. If you want to avoid repeating the disasters of the past, we need a UN that is stronger, fairer, and capable of action, not just words.